Be it day or night, cold in winter or heat in summer, soldiers of the Polish Army, Border Guard, police, territorial defense forces, and other Polish services defend the Polish border in the east. For almost 3 years, the Polish-Belarusian border has been under constant pressure from illegal migration. Here on the border, our officers face a hybrid war, inspired by the services of Belarus and Russia. Every day. Do we know roughly how big this group is? About 3 or 4, sometimes more. These are photos from the Polish-Belarusian border, where our reporter Michał Jelonek spent last night. There he met, among others, our soldiers, who are on duty 24 hours a day. There was no shortage of words of thanks for TV Republika, which has been reliably reporting on the situation on the eastern border. There is no more TVP, so I watch TV Republika. Attempts to cross the border often take the form of assaults by dozens of people using various tools and trying to force the border. The footage shows an organized group, aggressive, throwing various objects at Polish soldiers. 5 officers were injured this week. A soldier stabbed by a migrant is fighting for his life in the hospital. Several questions come to mind. Why were firearms not used in the attack to protect the soldiers' health and life? If there is a direct attack where someone is able to stab a Polish soldier or officer with a knife, it means that all the characteristics of the situation defined as necessary defense have been exceeded. The former head of the Military Intelligence Service, General Andrzej Kowalski, mentioned several aspects that may have influenced this, including existing procedures or training of soldiers. Is he really convinced that the Polish nation is behind him, and that if there is a tragedy, for example, the person who attacked is shot, won't the soldier or officer suffer some bizarre consequences, for example? And such an atmosphere could have been effectively created over the years by the left liberal community, combined with mainstream media and activists. After all, it was deputies of the ruling parties, especially the Civic Coalition, such as Franciszek Sterczewski, who tried to get food to migrants at the border. The men came out with guns. Weapons are an integral part of a soldier's equipment. The MP apparently did not have this knowledge. Only one of the people on duty had to explain it to him. A soldier is equipped with a weapon. If he didn't have one, he wouldn't be a soldier. The opposition at the time attacked and ridiculed the soldiers who defended the Polish borders. Sir, you are talking to an MP. I am not some random person. May I ask you to identify yourself? Maybe I will come closer and record you closer. I will scan your face and maybe you can be found. They were aided by the mainstream media. I have the impression that this is a pack of dogs that has cornered poor and weak people. This is not how soldiers act. Trash, simply put. And also activists. Donald Tusk did not believe the wall on the border would be built. He claimed that migrants were poor people looking for their place on earth. Today, the Polish Prime Minister has completely reversed the narrative. That's why Law and Justice is calling on those in power to apologize, since it was the Civic Coalition that voted against the construction of the wall on the border, among other things. Donald Tusk should apologize to all of us for how his people destabilized the Polish border, and how he made statements about defending our border or building the barrier. He acted hand in hand with those who destabilized that border. Although words of reflection are in vain among his MPs. This is not the proper way that people should be getting into Europe. And when will you go back with Mr. Joński to distribute pizza at the border? But there was no pizza there. But when will you go to the Polish-Belarusian border? And why should I go there now? Prime Minister Donald Tusk announced a few days ago a plan to modernize the eastern border worth 10 billion zloty. Now you can see what a mistake they made, attacking Polish border guards and Polish authorities who wanted to push these illegal migrants away from Poland. Many may be surprised then that the new government in Poland has stepped into the shoes of Law and Justice on the issue of border protection. The ongoing campaign ahead of the European parliamentary elections may be the answer. Before, Poland was attacked, and now the European Union is being attacked. Therefore, one may say that Donald Tusk's point of view is dependent on his post.
Tylko między 29...
Between the 29th and 30th of May, more than 310 attempts to enter Poland illegally were reported on the Polish-Belarusian border. Łukasz Żmuda, TV Republika.